a crisis of faith-fake prophets exploiting Africa's churches. Africa, a continent known for its deep spirituality, is facing a growing crisis within its churches. A new breed of religious leaders, often self-proclaimed prophets, are exploiting the faith of millions for their own personal gain. These individuals, driven by greed and a thirst for power, have turned houses of worship into marketplaces, peddling false hope and promises of prosperity in exchange for unwavering loyalty and, most importantly, money. This essay delves into the disturbing trend of fake prophets in Africa, exposing their tactics, the devastating impact on vulnerable communities, and the urgent need for critical thinking and accountability within religious spaces. The prosperity gospel trap: tithing your way to riches. One of the most common tactics employed by these false prophets is the preaching of the prosperity gospel. This distorted interpretation of faith preaches that financial wealth is a sign of God's favor, and that by giving generously to the church, specifically to the prophet himself, followers can unlock blessings and abundance in their own lives.
This message, often delivered with charisma and conviction, resonates deeply with people struggling with poverty and hardship, creating a dangerous cycle of dependence and exploitation. The promise of divine intervention for financial breakthroughs becomes an irresistible lure, leading followers to empty their pockets and even incur debt in the hopes of securing their place in God's good graces.
Smoke and mirrors: the art of staging fake miracles. To further solidify their authority and convince followers of their divine connection, fake prophets often resort to elaborate performances disguised as miracles.
These staged events, often involving seemingly impossible feats of healing, prophecy, or exorcism, are carefully orchestrated to evoke awe and unquestioning belief. The use of stooges, planted within the congregation to feign illnesses or demonic possession, is commonplace. These individuals, often coached and compensated for their roles, provide the evidence needed to convince desperate individuals of the prophet's supernatural powers.
The reality, however, is far less miraculous. These staged events prey on the hopes and fears of vulnerable individuals, exploiting their desperation for a miracle to maintain the illusion of divine power. Family business: when blood becomes thicker than holy water. The operation of these elaborate scams often extends beyond the charismatic figurehead. In many cases, family members and close associates of the self-proclaimed prophet are deeply involved in maintaining the facade and ensuring the continuous flow of money. From managing finances and orchestrating miracles, to acting as enforcers and silencing dissent, these individuals play a crucial role in perpetuating the fraudulent enterprise. The involvement of family members adds another layer of complexity to the issue, as it creates a tightly knit circle of trust and secrecy that is difficult to penetrate or expose. The high cost of blind faith, societal and economic impacts. The consequences of this widespread exploitation extend far beyond the individual victims.
The financial drain caused by exorbitant tithes and offerings can cripple families, pushing them deeper into poverty and despair.
The emphasis on personal prosperity over communal well-being undermines the values of compassion and social responsibility, eroding the fabric of communities.
Furthermore, the unquestioning obedience demanded by these false prophets fosters a culture of fear and silence, making it difficult for dissenting voices to challenge their authority or expose their deception.
The long-term consequences are devastating, leaving communities trapped in cycles of poverty, ignorance, and dependence.
Adeboye's Empire, a case study in opulence and exploitation. While it is crucial to acknowledge that not all religious leaders in Africa are driven by greed or ill intentions, there are prominent examples that raise serious concerns.
One such example is Enoch Adeboye, the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, a mega-church with branches across Nigeria and around the world. Adeboye, known for his lavish lifestyle and private jet, has amassed a significant fortune, while many of his followers struggle to make ends meet.
His teachings, which emphasize tithing and offering as pathways to prosperity, have drawn criticism for exploiting the faith of his followers for personal gain.
While Adeboye's supporters argue that his wealth is a testament to God's blessings, His critics point to the stark contrast between his opulent lifestyle and the poverty faced by many of his followers, as evidence of a deeply flawed and exploitative system.
Understanding the vulnerable, why people fall prey to false prophets. To effectively address this issue, it is crucial to understand the factors that make individuals susceptible to the manipulations of fake prophets. Poverty, lack of education, and limited access to healthcare create fertile ground for desperation and a yearning for hope. In the face of overwhelming challenges, the promise of divine intervention and a quick fix to their problems can be incredibly alluring.
Furthermore, deeply ingrained cultural and religious beliefs, often passed down through generations, can make it difficult for individuals to question religious authority or challenge teachings that contradict their lived experiences.
The combination of these factors creates a perfect storm of vulnerability, making it easier for charismatic individuals with manipulative tendencies to exploit the faith of those seeking solace and solutions. The power of critical thinking, breaking free from the cycle of deception. The fight against fake prophets in Africa requires a multifaceted approach with education and critical thinking at its core. Empowering individuals with the ability to question, analyze, and discern truth from falsehood is paramount in breaking the cycle of exploitation.
This includes promoting financial literacy, encouraging healthy skepticism towards claims of miracles and divine favoritism, and fostering a culture of accountability within religious institutions.
Reclaiming true faith, a call for discernment and accountability. It's time for African communities to reclaim the true essence of faith, one that emphasizes compassion, social justice, and personal responsibility. This requires a collective effort to hold religious leaders accountable for their actions and teachings.
Congregations must demand transparency in financial dealings, question lavish lifestyles that contradict the values of humility and service, and reject teachings that prioritize personal gain over the well-being of the community.
Building a better future, empowering communities, rejecting exploitation. The battle against fake prophets is not merely about exposing individual charlatans. It is about dismantling a system that enables their exploitation. It is about empowering individuals with the knowledge, skills, and resources to build a better future for themselves and their communities. A future free from the shackles of deception, where faith is a source of strength and hope, not a tool for manipulation and profit. It is time for a new era of spiritual awakening in Africa, one rooted in critical thinking, compassion, and a steadfast commitment to truth and justice.